Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to the ALP podcast. Finally, the ALP main three are all in a video chat format podcast together. Oh, now George is
Oh no,
doing
George
a
has gone.
George has left. It's not like we can see the side of his shoulder. He's left. But yeah, you've got me. You've got as the Azalator 9000. You've got Mr. George GC DW boy. I'm loving your background, George, man. I said this before I started the podcast. You're representing VW.
Yeah.
You got GTI on there, the type of engine, the flags, MK1. But yeah, I'm loving the pictures in the background. The car seat's absolutely epic. It's just awesome, man. It's pretty sick background. I mean,
if we did more like this, we need to stick things to the background.
Yeah, not a bad idea. I mean, it is epic that you've got a car chair there. I just love it, man. Aaron's is all right. Blue.
Yeah. I can't really do much. Those are so small.
You've got the blue curtain drawer things.
Blinds.
No, I thought blinds were like thinner and harder than your curtain type things. But I suppose they are blinds because you pull them to open them, don't you? And then they go like this. But I thought blinds were like this way up, not like up this way and soft.
Okay. It's a very weird way to start it, wasn't it? Talking about blinds, but
true. My background's a load of crap, but yeah, we've got us three on. So, Aaron, do you want to do the honours and say what the topic is today?
Yeah. So today's a bit of a different one. We're doing like conspiracy theories, and the way that we're doing it is we have two each, and we'll just talk about them, and we'll go in different turns.
Yes, sir. So what will happen is I'll say George is doing the Illuminati. I'll say one theory, Aaron will say one, George will say one, then I'll say one, Aaron will say one, George will say one. So we'll come with two theories each. We can decide, you can do a theory that you think is total rubbish. You can do a theory that you want to prove true. So yeah, I'll go first, I guess, and do the honours. So my first theory is a little bit of a controversial one. I'm not going to say my opinions on the Royals. This theory's been going around a lot, to be honest. Just take this with a pinch of salt. Don't take my word as fact. This is just things that I've heard. I haven't done a lot of research. It's just what people have said. I've done smidges, bits and pieces. But my first theory, and I believe it is true, is that Princess Diana was murdered. So, first bit of evidence, the taxi driver, totally drunken off his head. Second bit of evidence, right, this biker was coming up behind him and took a picture right in the mirror, and he obviously, he couldn't see it, blinded him a little bit while he was driving, all the lights, flashes, and he crashed. No emergency services showed up for 2 hours. There was apparently police there, and the press tried to have a look, and then they said, no, leave, go, move along. And people were just really, really angry about it. A lot of people suspect this because obviously Diana probably knew a lot about the royal family. And, I mean, to be honest, a lot of the royals aren't really well liked. So, they were probably jealous of the nice fame that she got, because a lot of people love Diana. A lot of people think she's great, and she was a really lovely, nice person. She didn't just get slapped into the royal family straight away. She.
I was going to say, do you think that the same thing could happen to Kate? Because Kate is very much like Diana in ways.
What, Kate Middleton?
Yeah.
No, I think she's...
Well, it'd be a lot harder to...
Oh, do you want to say yours, James?
I was going to say, it'd be a lot harder to pull that type of thing off nowadays because you have cameras, you have more people about, I feel like it's harder.
Yeah.
I'm sure every government and every, high up elite royal family, whatever, they probably do things behind people's backs and do dodgy, shady things. But, it'd be a lot harder to pull that off. And even the shady things that any high up, powerful people do, It's probably nowhere near as shady as it used to be. Like, I mean, you know what happened at the end of Red Dead Redemption? How the FBI or the army basically screwed over John Marston. That probably happened loads of times back in the cowboy days because there wasn't anyone to protect anyone. But nowadays,
oh, of course, yeah. Well, I was watching like a thing about a cowboy town that got abandoned basically, and then basically murdered for a week.
Oh bloody hell! But the thing is, if
yeah.
you rolled up nowadays, if you were like Edgar Ross and you rolled up with the army to someone's house who was helping you get villains and you catch criminals and you promised them freedom, you know, and then you showed up and did that, they probably think like if like, it wouldn't just be a house in the middle of nowhere. There'd be things going on. The government would be like, why is the army walking to this area? If they just shot someone down who'd been a good help, they'd be like, what the bloody hell did you do that for? There'd be loads of trouble, loads of people getting locked up. You know what I mean?
I mean, like with people like that though, because they're they're like the elite. They can. I'm not saying that I 100% believe it. I'm not saying 100% don't believe it. They can do whatever they want. At the end of the day, they have the power, the means, and everything. So they technically could get away with most stuff. And a lot of the stuff that people end up doing now, it's not like out in the open. It's behind closed doors.
Yeah, but come on, the Queen can't roll up with the army like Edgar Ross and shoot at someone.
No, I'm not saying like she'll roll up with the army, but she might hire
the
one
Queen just
person.
The Queen just come down with an AK-47.
I mean,
okay, you're next.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if they did like try and hire some crazy person to do it, and then they gave that crazy person's family loads of money or whatever. I just don't like it how people think hitmen are these elite skilled people like Mike Ehrmantraut from the Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul universe, and who else is a good hitman? John Wick, James Bond.
Hitman.
Well, James Bond's an agent, isn't Hitman? Oh yeah, the Hitman from the Hitman series. They're just a bunch of thugs that you give them a gun and they walk up to someone and shoot them. They're not like elite. Psh, 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 psh. They're just people who will do anything horrible for money.
Yeah.
So, after all the evidence I gave you guys, do you think... I mean, someone apparently tried to kill Prince Charles because of it, or they might have just been trying to assassinate him anyway. But what happened was, he, I think he dropped a cob or something and then bent over and then he was like, ooh, and then they shot him and then he was like, what happened? The sky is blue. No, but he didn't even realise he'd been shot. It's like in that episode of Fools and Horses when Del Boy bent over and, yeah. I mean, I don't even know why the bloody hell he went for Camilla. Diane was a very attractive, nice woman. And not only that, she had a great personality, so I don't see why he went for Camilla. I have no idea, but there you go. Each to their own. In it. Very random from me, that point, but do you guys think it's true or false then?
I'll say it could be true.
Aaron?
I'm fairly sure it's true. I'm fairly sure it's true. Oh, bloody
hell. Decent theory I picked then. Bloody hell, that's not too bad, and I think it's true as well. That's free. Get in there. Whee!
I mean, it's a bit weird voting on your own, but yeah, that's... I mean, no, that's all right, actually, isn't it, voting on your own? Because
we're all going to vote on each other's, yeah. So, Aaron, I sort of want you to go next, but I sort of want George to say one because I know it's going to be crazy and probably not true.
Right, do you want George to go first?
Yeah. Actually, it's quite similar to yours.
Oh, bloody hell, okay.
Yeah. So is it me or as next then?
I want you to go next, man. It will be hilarious.
All right. This one is about JFK. About when he was assassinated.
Don't make it too political, please.
Well, it's nice. It's more about out of this world stuff.
Okay, go on then.
But
out of this world. This sounds like aliens, but go on.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm leaving. I'm finished. No. All right. I'll leave the theory first. I'll leave the theory before I leave.
It's a theory, but
go on then.
He knew about aliens, and he even quoted saying that he wanted to tell the truth about aliens. And 10 days before he was shot, he he said he's gonna reveal everything to the public. But then 10 days later, he was assassinated. So I think
No, I'm finished.
he's only-
I'm finished, lads. See you.
Well, James is gone.
no.
No. So you think that he? I mean, you think that
JK was assassinated
by aliens?
because
No.
he got to bring out.
What? No.
Right, so
He's got to bring
how would an
out the thing about aliens.
so why would an alien shoot him when they just abduct him?
Exactly.
No. The FBI killed him.
Oh,
They used the murderer.
yeah.
I forget his name now, but the sniper.
Oh, was it
They
Lee Harvey
used him.
Oswald?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, but they used him and didn't tell him. So they basically hired him, but didn't say we're basically going to arrest you and charge you with murder. But yeah, there was another theory where
Hold on. Wait.
there
Aaron
was
needs to.
two snipers
Oh.
instead of two.
I thought you were going to go on to a different theory. Well,
No, it's the same thing.
I mean, I've
I don't
got
see what
some-
scientists.
Because so of the shots were quite weird where they came from.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't
'cause
really.
sorry, I was saying I was talking about the magic bullet, wasn't it? How it went through like 4 different people and
Yeah.
did like that through a car and killed everyone.
Yeah. There's actually a really good documentary about it.
I mean,
And they go about the magic bullet.
George. I mean, this couldn't have happened if aliens did exist. People would be like wanting to make this groundbreaking announcement.
Well, actually, I think what was the FBI, they released videos to the public, which basically proves that aliens exist, but because of like the global pandemic and things like that, it just went all under the radar for so many people.
Well, what the hell's the proof
shows
that
that-
aliens have come to Earth then?
It's UFOs that the FBI can't explain. This was classified by the FBI.
See, this is what George.
See,
You
this is
can't be like. You
real
can't be
things.
thinking like. I know the theory that I just said makes it act like, oh, I know more than the police and everything. But the thing is, this could have happened. Crypto from bloody Destroy All Humans didn't come down and go, what's going on? Hey. And then the bloody, what's his name? Atriox, whatever his name is, he's going, or I can't remember his name, but he's like, Crypto, get out of there, quick. And then they bloody lock him up and then they're like, oh, JFK has found this, let's shoot him. That didn't happen at all. This can't happen. This is impossible.
I mean, I've got
but if you think how big the universe is and how much is there, we can't be the only ones.
No,
I mean,
I think there
We
is
just
some
can't
sort of life.
be the only.
There is some sort of life and aliens out there, but they wouldn't come to Earth in a spaceship. I think they're just around our level of technology, or a bit better, or a bit worse. I think most of the galaxy, because you got to remember, there aren't many planets that can inhabit life. I think there's only like so many planets that are like Earth. There's probably like about, I just don't know. But if you look up about the observable universe, there's quite a few planets that are like Earth, but there's way more planets that are uninhabitable. There's one planet that's just full of water, you know. So,
I mean, the thing about UFOs
Which
as
one
well
is
is they're unidentified flying objects. They're probably man-made, just they're unidentified.
Yeah.
It's like spaceships.
yeah, like someone,
I mean, planes.
someone could have.
I don't say those things.
I was going to say someone could have got on top of the International Space Station and just chucked a poo down onto Earth, and they'd class that as an unidentified object.
No, I mean, like during the Cold War and everything. I mean, I've got my own theory. I'm not like a theory I was going to bring up, something to go against what George just said. I was going to say, but during the Cold War and everything, there was that many different like special ops, and like the Blackbird was invented and everything. There was loads of UFOs going around.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, what I think with this JFK,
Well, even one where we had whether the video footage of it being used, and it is like a little disc that two
Well,
people are sitting in.
Daniel
and it's just
Day-Lewis
floating.
flew over like this and flew in his costume that he was in the Gangs of New York and was going, whee! And that was the UFO.
I know this is I saw footage of it, and it does look like a handmade UFO kind of thing because it's
Handmade.
floating.
Okay. So someone made a paper airplane and they thought it was a UFO.
I mean, could I just bring up like a point to George's thing? I just wanted to say.
Go on.
So this is like a counter thing to George. It isn't a theory of my own, but I think JFK was assassinated mostly because he was planning to reduce the FBI's and CIA's funding during the Cold War, and also
That makes him.
he didn't agree with certain political parts, and he was basically turning the country into more democratic rather than like a war-bearing country from like the previous years.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably why they weren't too.
Well, but it was the same with Bill Clinton as well. He knew, but was never able to come out with.
I mean,
George, he would have said by now if he knew. He would have said.
Yes.
Yes.
Said.
During 2016, Bernie Sanders said if he became president, he'd release everything on UFOs, and then suddenly, what do you call it? He didn't get in, and nothing came out.
I've just had a thing come up on my screen. By the way,
same. So it says unlimited minutes.
Something to do with it being
this
40
meeting
minutes long.
no longer has a time limit.
Yeah,
that's good, isn't it?
Right,
okay. So they used to only let it go
fine.
on for 40 minutes.
Yeah, this meeting was only scheduled for 40 minutes. And this is completely off topic, by the way. But yeah.
So it's done limited time on Zoom then?
Yeah, because we only set it up for 40 minutes, but we've been here longer than 40 minutes. So
great. All right then. Do you want to continue? What were you saying? Wait, Bernie Sanders said he'd reveal everything about aliens if he beat Joe Biden.
Yeah, if he beat Donald Trump.
And if he became president, and if he beat Donald Trump as well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that is a. I'm not trying to talk about who I support and who I respect and disrespect, but that is a bit odd to say, you know.
Yeah.
I'll try and do a Bernie impression, my Bernie voice. I will reveal everything about aliens. I will tell you all about the aliens in the sky, the UFOs, the Covenant from Halo. I will tell everyone. And it's like, yeah, Bernie, mate, you know, fair enough, but like that's a really weird thing to promise. Why not just stick to the free healthcare and all that other jazz you were talking about? Don't go on about aliens. Well, it clearly didn't work. Oh, I just accidentally spat a bit.
Oh.
It clearly didn't work. Why do any other politicians go on about that they reveal everyththing about the aliens? I wouldn't be surprised if Biden did at this point. Or even Trump to get re-elected. It was on about aliens.
I mean, the weird thing is with everyone, it doesn't matter if the government released everything they ever had on UFOs right now, people still wouldn't be satisfied. They'd be claiming that people are hiding it or something. They want the idea of like little men coming down, just, you know.
That's
a Carl Pilkington quote there, isn't it?
Yeah. If they had clear-cut evidence there was an alien and showed it, then yeah, I believe it. I wouldn't deny it and say, "Oh, you're hiding everything away from me," you know. I mean, there are some things governments need to keep secrets. Otherwise, if it was common knowledge, that would be very dangerous and risky, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's the same with private information. You put a wise quote on Twitter recently that if you're not prepared to tell a random stranger what you're saying right now on social media or what you're filming yourself say, then don't put it out there. If you're not comfortable with telling a random stranger all this personal stuff, never put it out there because you're basically telling the whole world it's public knowledge. And I get that some people want to tell personal stories, but all I'm trying to say, and I'm assuming you were trying to say, is that be prepared that everyone's going to know this info.
Yeah, like once something's out there on the internet, it's never going away, no matter how hard you try.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we've rambled on a bit, actually.
Let's decide. Let's decide if this theory is true or not then. So, big no from me. I think Aaron's theory made a lot more sense, even though this wasn't his official theory that he's picking. I feel like the FBI and the CIA and the whatever they are, whoever else got involved. Why are you sticking a pen up there?
That's not a pen.
What?
No, pencil, I mean. But I feel like it because he wanted to go for more of a democratic approach and not be war hungry. That is why they were angry, and that's why the FBI probably hired someone to kill him. So Aaron's theory makes a lot more sense. George, I'm going to say yours is a big no. Aaron, what do you say?
I say no, but I respect people who think whether they want, and if they have the balls to think it, fair enough.
At least it was a really entertaining theory. It was way better than mine. Mine's been bambled on about for years, for goodness sake. But George's was quite entertaining.
So what do you?
As soon as I heard aliens, I was hooked. Yeah, do you think it's true or not? You think yes? Oh, never mind then. After all the logic and the things that we've given to you, and you still say yes. Fair enough. As Aaron.
Well, I've seen videos on it, and there is a lot more evidence than I've said today.
I thought you were going to say you recorded a video of JFK talking about aliens and then aliens flying about. George, do you think Planet Snorkel...
I've just watched a load of Shane Dawson videos on it.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow. Bloody hell. Bloody hell, he's a great source of information, isn't he? Oh, God. I don't even want to talk about him after what he did.
I mean, Shane Dawson information is one step up from reading it from the back of the serial box.
He did come on his cat. I forgot about that.
What?
You didn't hear about that, James?
I don't even listen. Yeah. This is another podcast for another time.
It fucked his cat and came in it.
Oh God! All I wanted. This should be for another time, man. Because Shane Dawson. At first, I just thought he got cancelled over nothing. I thought it was just because of some stupid tweet. But when you watch the videos of him talking about horrible things and saying really disgusting, disturbing things to people, it's like this dude is bizarre. You know. No, don't get his cat up, George. Don't get his cat up.
Wait, shall I just get into my point?
Move on to the next video. Forget this. If George, you're going to get kicked if you get put
all right. So this theory, it's weird.
I'm not putting his cat up.
I'll just set my phone off then. So basically, I'll move on to my theory now. You know the Beatles, don't you, everyone? Well, you know of the Beatles. I don't know if you know them personally.
Yes.
All right. So
Paul McCartney, George Harrison, Ringo Starr, and John Lennon.
Right, so in 1966...
Yeah, Ladybug.
In 1960...
Fly, Beetle.
So in 1966, allegedly, Paul McCartney was in a car accident and he died, but because they were one of the biggest bands in the world, they hired a stunt double to basically just keep the Beatles running, called Billy Shears, who looks very similar to Paul McCartney, and people have put it down to, over the years, Paul McCartney's face has changed. His voice has changed slightly. You know, stuff has happened that before 1966, Paul McCartney wasn't like, and after 1966, he was. But yeah, what do you guys think?
Look at how he looked before and after.
I mean, it is weird because in 1966. Oh, do you want to say yours?
I was going to say it's kind of like a body double, because a lot of celebrities have like a double, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, the theory is that because they were the biggest band in the world, they just wanted to keep the sales coming. I mean, there's other theories as well from around that time. I'm not going to get into them, by the way, just Paul McCartney on, but like Jimi Hendrix was killed off and blah, 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 stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Just all to do with money at the end of the day. But what do you guys think about it? Oh,
I'm trying to read through it now. One little point, I don't like saying everyone's theory is false, but one little point I've got is that the reason why they ended the Beatles, which was in 19, they think it's because of Yoko, but it was actually because I think what happened was I watched a bit of a video on it, and it was apparently they did a load of performances and they just got fed up. It was so manic and mad, they just got totally fed up of doing performances. And John was like, well, what's the point of having the band anymore if we're not going to perform live? And then everyone just went their separate ways. So as they all said that publicly, you'd think they would have kept the band going on and on and on and on for ages rather than 2 years after he died. And you'd also think that there'd be a different reason they ends. You'd think if the band meant so much to them, they would have like actually fell out over it then, instead of like just saying, oh, we're fed up of performing. Because if they're that passionate about being the biggest band ever, but then they get tired of fame 2 years later, it doesn't really make much sense to me.
I mean, I've got to say as well, apparently there's all... I don't believe in all those...
The Illuminati.
I don't believe in all those hidden quotes and stuff that they say. You know about like, oh, if you play Revolution 9 backwards, you hear them say this about Paul McCartney, or if you play back, or there's like lyrics in like A Day in the Life that says that Paul McCartney died in a car accident. I mean, there's one quote as well that says allegedly Paul is dead, but what it actually says is cranberry sauce. It's in Strawberry Fields Forever, isn't it?
Oh.
It's right at the very end. It just seems like people want it to be true. It's like UFO.
That's quite a shame. I wouldn't want it to be true.
There's quite a few hidden messages in songs. Like, actually, like, there's one that where this guy really loved like devil worshipping, and they say if you listen to one of his songs backwards, you can hear how Satan.
No, I mean it's just so stupid though. Like, why would they? I mean, some people do it intentionally and they admit
Is that
it.
door? Hang on, guys. Is that door? Is that door moving behind me again?
No.
What's that door behind me?
Oh,
George, this is just mental ghost rubbish. George!
Wait! I've just realised the aliens that killed JFK are after George. They hunted him down. They've hunted him down.
I'm not joking. That I thought it was moving before, and it's done that before. So get back to your story.
Shut the door fully. Shut the door fully and see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Right, come on.
Right, this is a weird. This is
I'm with you. This is going on.
Wait, George, you haven't got any. Oh, I don't want to say this for the podcast, but you haven't got any clothes on.
Now.
No.
If that opens now, you can fucking see it.
No. But you might have not shut it properly. What? But why isn't my door moving?
Wait, James, I think the blind someone's possessed me behind me.
Yeah,
they're moving.
Whoa! Sorry.
Shut up.
Sorry. Comeuppance, I just got a bit of sweat in my eye, bloody hell.
Oh no.
Woo!
James, you do love a bit of something anyway.
Ah, funny.
Oh no.
You wish. Anyway, I think Aaron's theory is not true because of those two things I said. I think it's just personally, obviously you can believe it if you want. It makes a bit of sense because he does look well different, but everyone looks different as they get older, you know. I mean, George, I remember looking on his Facebook and there was an old picture. Like, obviously I know this sounds weird that I'm looking through his Facebook, but like I was just looking through to see what pictures there were. If you look at one of the older ones, then scroll to today, it looks like a totally different man.
I know the ones you're talking about, yes.
So did George die in 2014 and then they replaced him with this guy? They replaced him with some guy. You know?
I mean, it is weird. I mean, if you
you
take...
never know.
I don't know why it mentions specific people, like Liam Gallagher, look how much he's changed.
Yeah, are people going to start saying, no, imagine, because you know he looked like John Lennon in 2000. John Lennon didn't, like they say, oh, John Lennon somehow actually didn't die, and then John Lennon replaced Liam Gallagher, and then John Lennon actually did die, then someone replaced John Lennon as Liam Gallagher, and now he looks like an old man. Do you know what I mean?
That was like when, like, in 2000-ish, I know Liam Gallagher said he was the reincarnation of John Lennon, which is a bit weird. That
is very weird. By the way, that theory that I just said wasn't true. It's absolutely sad that John Lennon got killed. It's really gutting. But, like, I'm just using an over-exaggerated example of what I just came up with. Like, but yours isn't as daft because it's a little bit weird, but it's like, I don't believe it. Personally. It's
one of those theories that would be, it's interesting to listen to, but it's not really true. Like, there's no way it's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I don't believe it at all, so...
So you're a no as well, George. Are you a no on it, or do you think it happened?
I'm a no on it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
That's fair.
This is what I think. Then this next theory that I'm going to say, I think is total rubbish. Moon landing was fake. I mean, come on.
I mean, James, they got one of your favourite directors, Stanley Kubrick, in to direct that. Come on. No, I'm only joking. I mean,
a lot of people nowadays don't even like him because apparently his films are too long, but you can't tell me that Full Metal Jacket's a bad film. You just cannot.
I've never seen it.
It's one of the best. I absolutely love that film to bits. It's
I think you're like the drill sergeant in it, James, aren't you?
Well, I genuinely appreciate that because people now...
Oh, so off that meme. Let me see your war face.
Let me see your war face! Have you got a war face? Ah! Yeah.
Imagine if you just clip that. Just go, ah!
No, ALP podcast, no context.
Oh, we should do that one of the days.
I'd
Just
rather
get
get
random clips.
I'd rather get a fan to do it, but yeah, it wouldn't be too bad one day. But yeah, that's such an epic film. People don't like the sergeant, but like he just pushes. All he's doing is trying to push them to the limit, and I love how he never acts normal. He always shouts and acts like a sergeant. There's two sides to this. Can I spoil a bit of it before I talk about the moon landing?
Yeah. I mean,
so I won't watch it.
And
I
there's
mean,
this dude.
it was 50 years ago, so.
About 87, yeah. I mean, 10 years ago feels like forever. But anyway, so there's this dude with obvious learning difficulties who Sergeant Hartman basically treats like shit for the most part. He's really fat. And he basically flips out and shoots Hartman at the end, then shoots himself. And I'm sort of like, I'm not trying to be a coward, and because obviously people say, oh, if you take a centre view, you're a coward. You're not, because this genuinely you can see both sides of it. I do blame one group of people for it though, and it is the people who hired him to join the Marines. Because joining the regular army, that'd be hard enough for him, but joining the Marines, bloody hell, they're elite. Why would you let some bloke with learning difficulties join the Marines? But this was set around the Vietnam War, so they needed all the help they can get. But you'd think they'd just get him in the normal army, you know.
I mean, they were probably called up, weren't they? Not, they didn't want to go.
No, but you'd just be in the normal army. You wouldn't be in the Marines.
Oh, I mean,
I'd
I
imagine.
watched it a while, but I can't remember the beginning of the movie actually. But
Point is, like people should be able to tell he had problems, but at the same time, Hartman isn't going to go on it easy on him because he has issues. He's got to harden him and toughen him up. And Hartman does give him compliments on how good he is at shooting. So I personally think, I don't think Hartman could have been a bit nicer. The soldiers could have been a bit nicer. But I also think that they shouldn't have hired him in the first place because he should be in the normal army or not at all because he's got learning difficulties. Anyway, back to my theory. They wouldn't spend billions of space money just to, like, it costs loads to put a kilogram into space. So they wouldn't spend loads and loads and loads of money on getting everything to space and then faking it, you know.
no, I mean the thing.
Didn't they put a can of beer into space or something like that recently?
George, your thing's paused.
I know it is. I'm trying to find something.
I mean,
the
thing that I saw was that apparently they filmed it in.
I'm just going to get my water.
I forgot which studio it was. I think it was in Miami or something somewhere. But they allegedly filmed it. I mean, there's some stuff about the moon landing I think it's a bit weird, but at the end of the day, I just don't know. I mean, I don't really care at the end of the day. But I mean, there's people in space at the moment on the International Space Station, so you know. I'm just waiting for James to get his water back. But
It's in the water. It's in the water, James.
well, I'll probably just have to repeat that for James. So, wait,
No, I heard a bit of
Water.
it. I think you say they filmed it in Miami or something.
I was basically saying that we have got people in space now because they're on the International Space Station. But,
Exactly. And didn't they have the, what was it called, the Skylab as well? Why would they waste all the money on that if they can just fake it all the time?
I mean, in the 60s it was a bit weird because I remember studying it in college and everything and school and a bit university about how like the Soviet Union were winning the space race all the way throughout it. They got like, the first satellite into space, first rocket into space, first man into space, and first animal in space. But then
They got the dog in space, didn't they?
suddenly, out of nowhere, America randomly got a man on the moon.
They could have just been planning it for ages, so Russia don't think of it and just kept it under wraps. That might have been what they were doing to beat Russia in the space race.
Well, I mean, when they were making the satellite, when Russia launched Sputnik, they basically made it out of like bits of old metal, and it was flying around the Earth and everything. Whereas America
Made it
put
out of a tin can.
But America put like millions into a space rocket.
Can of beans! Nika,
blew up.
boom!
But he like blew up, and it just shows that like they had the money, but they just weren't. Why would they fake it if they could genuinely do it? Which they
Very
couldn't.
true.
There's two things I've always thought about the about the moon landing. Where's the stars, and why was the flag moving like there was wind? Because if you think space, you'd see the stars because there's not a lot of light about, and there wouldn't be wind or air on the moon.
I mean, I just wanted to say as well, it's weird that people always accuse the first moon landing of being weird, but why don't they accuse like later ones that happen like the next year or or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I'm really on the fence about it. I'm more on the side of it was real, but there was weird anomalies in it.
Well, the thing is, if they could fake the moon landing, why wasn't there better graphics in films like that? Surely they give this technology to the film industry if they can film it.
I know they made it on like a set. They made it all like in a big room. There wasn't any graphics involved at all. It was all like background.
Well, you'd think they'd try and make better sets for films. Then if they had this sort of technology, boost the film industry, make films look better, make more money. You know what I mean?
I mean, it was like a government thing, so they wouldn't just.
But the government, I swear, the government have given people money for films.
Yeah, but they're not doing it for things like this, are they? This is like a space.
And
this is like a world.
And
this is going down in history.
It's one of the biases as well.
What?
You did what?
You can, if you look at the photos, you can see a stage light in one of the visors of the astronauts.
I mean, it's really weird because I think regardless of whatever people say, there's always going to be a million people finding holes in everyone's theories. So, I honestly don't know. I'm just on I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? That's fair. I think it's definitely happened. I think the moon landing 100% happened. So I think this theory is false. I don't think they faked this. George, I'm guessing you think they did fake it.
I think they faked it. Yes.
Okay.
Because you can't. Because the technology, you can't really go from losing in every single thing as you're saying against like the Soviet Union.
I mean, you can if you're building something up in secret. If you're building something up in secret, you can.
Yes, but you need. Yes, but like there's no stars there, and there would be stars.
Not necessarily.
Yes, you would. You see,
because they were just filming. They were just filming the moon. They weren't filming up in the sky.
I mean, it is weird how it was a live broadcast. Like that is a bit mental. But
how would they pull that off live? Surely, if it was pre-recorded, I'd be more on the fence.
Yeah. No, I mean they could obviously broadcast a pre-recorded thing live, but like from the moon to Earth in the '60s is it's just a bit weird, and I think. I'm more on the side of that they faked it, but I'm not 100%. I'm like 60% sure they faked it.
I mean, Star Trek would have had way better graphics if they bloody faked it. That's all I'll say.
I mean, they wouldn't randomly give that much money to a TV studio or anything. Even if it was the best movie ever made, they wouldn't do that because it's just a government thing rather than.
They could because they get loads of money from the film, and people would be like, "Bloody hell! Look at the quality of America's films. It was government funded. Bloody hell!" They'd be like, "America!" You know.
No, I mean that's like a government operation. It's going down in history rather than just a movie that they don't know what it's going to do. The government would rather spend like millions on an actual because it's a space project. It's not a space movie. There's like two different things.
But why would they do that just for the sake of ego? It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, there's a lot of weird. I mean, America got really
they could have spent that
throughout the Cold War.
They could have spent billions on making things different and making themselves better and looking better than Russia rather than just getting to space. I mean,
but during the '60s, it was the space race. That was like the main thing to get. So
that is fair enough.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm not in the middle. There we go. So it's like equal then, isn't it? I think
that is fair enough. So George, do you want to? So Aaron's 50-50, but more on the side of fake that they did fake it. So it's a yes. George is a yes, and I'm a no. So anyway, do you want to move on to your theory, George?
I'm ready for this one.
Yes, I do. Have you ever heard of being a larvae?
What?
What?
Being a larvae?
No.
I have not heard.
She's a Satanist.
Okay.
She was a Satanist, and she looks the exact same as Taylor Swift.
Oh.
She put their photos beside each other. They look the same.
Mm-hmm.
And people think that Taylor Swift is a clone of her to basically be in the Illuminati and be in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, do you remember when was it Jay-Z that came up on stage when she was getting that award?
No, Kanye West.
Kanye
West when he went in
Kanye West, yeah. Yeah, well, people think Kim and him are part of the Illuminati. And when he came up on stage and basically tried to embarrass her, that was her initiation into the Illuminati.
Wait, so does
whenever
that mean? Oh, I was going to say. So does that mean that every person Kanye West has ever interrupted, they're a part of the Illuminati? Who else has he interrupted actually?
Well, I can't think of it of anyone else who's done it. I know Beyonce and Adele.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that was one. And people think that could have been her initiation into it. But if you think what Xena looked like compared to Taylor, if you look it up, I don't know if you can, but try and look it up and look at what they look like.
What's her name? What's her name?
It's Veena, so Veena.
Mm-hmm.
Then second name Lavey. Then put Taylor Swift.
I mean, I know
George,
that a lot of people do have stunt doubles, but that is a bit. I mean, all like people look like them, but it's like if you take Matt Damon and Mark Wahlberg, they look pretty similar, don't they? So he's one of them in the Illuminati.
Yeah, but there's like a 50-year difference or something like that.
Oh,
like she's in the 70s now, but when Gina was basically the same age as Taylor, they look the exact same. Have you found it, Jack?
What is the? I've seen it. I sort of get what you mean, but what the bloody hell is the point? I don't understand what the point's meant to be. So, because you said at the start, Kanye
that she's basically the success. That she's gonna be the successor to Xena.
But just because they look alike doesn't mean they're a successor. I look a bit like Jon Snow and Ryan Garcia. It doesn't mean I'm going to star in the next Game of Thrones or become a lightweight boxer and, become the champ, which he will be. Ryan Garcia will be the GOAT, mark my word. He'll be the GOAT, Ryan Garcia will. But
if you watch her last album, the amount of, like the snakes, she was doing an Illuminati symbol. She was doing that, which means like the 666.
That means, hey, how's it going?
No.
Chef. That means chef's kiss, perfection. George, what the bloody hell are you on about?
No, circle with things like that.
So everyone who's done this meme, what the bloody hell? It just looks like a bloody rabbit with a deformed ear on the end. That's all it looks like.
No, look up it.
Rabbit chomping the carrots. What's going on, George? What the bloody hell?
It's an actual thing.
So a rabbit with 2 ears.
If people do it
that's
like
a peace sign. That's a peace sign.
No.
That's F off.
No. But the thing is, that's a peace sign. But if you do like that,
that's F off. Yeah.
No. If you think of F off.
George was going to do that next.
Just let me talk for a second.
He was going to do this. I won, one. Oh yeah.
Fucking piss, James. That's you. My piss.
Oh no!
What the hell? If that was the case, if somehow George did that, I mean,
this is going to be ARP game moments compilation.
This is what I'd do.
It's just sagging.
If George tried to do that to me, this is what I'd do. And then you have to bring the hand down.
I was going to shout something.
Well, no, somebody else who would do that.
Oh, no. Don't mention it, George, please.
What?
Because the RAF will bomb us. The RAF will bomb us.
FBI! SAS! Don't say anything stupid, George.
Nobody knows what we're talking about, but we know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Some inside jokes with ARP.
If you somehow figure it out, that is a conspiracy. That's cool. I love it. Like, I know this is very off topic again, but I love it when things aren't figured out, speculating, because it's like Quentin Tarantino said about Reservoir Dogs. Yeah. People are saying about people say, what does Reservoir Dogs mean? Are they reserve war? Did they go to war and they reserve soldiers? Are they in the reservoir and are they dogs? I don't know, weird stuff like that. And then he says he loves to keep the speculation, but in reality, something just happened in a video store for him to come up with it, I think. So, but it's better to speculate than actually come up with stuff. Because if you just get told the answer, you're not going to speculate. People will be like, oh, but it could have been this. Yeah, but it's this, you idiot. Why are you speculating?
Yeah.
So I think George's theory is totally mental. I mean, just because someone looks like someone then, because the Kanye West stuff made it even more bizarre. So I understand it because it looks like someone, but then the rubbish about Kanye West going, it's my award.
No, but
it's my award, it's me, you know.
If you look at how you get into the Illuminati,
so because Kanye West comes on,
get embarrassed.
Because Kanye West comes on stage and goes, it's my award. That means that you're in the Illuminati. It makes no sense.
No, one of the initiation process is being embarrassed in public. Basically, like
then every celebrity's going to be in the Illuminati.
Yeah, but celebrities are always in public.
So
They're going to get embarrassed.
Well, you never know. Like, well, it's one that I do find weird is the lizard theory.
Oh no, don't.
Oh, that everyone's a lizard or something.
Yeah, like when you see like the footage of like Justin Bieber's eyes, like
that's the biggest load of
blinking
rubbish
weirdly.
ever.
I mean, there's one thing I've got to mention.
Worse than the UFO one.
There's one thing, George. There's something called video editing. Like, you know, people can just do it. I can Photoshop Brett Rotman's arse onto James's forehead if I wanted, and claim that James is Brett Rotman's arse or something. You know. It's just, I think it's one of those things that people just want to believe, isn't it?
I think a lot of people
probably, yeah.
I mean,
not the Brett Rotman thing.
A lot of people definitely want to believe that. Bloody hell, no. I was going to say though, you can make anything look real. Imagine if people started saying Jar Jar Binks and Boss Nass and Watto and Dexter Jettster actually existed. And you had Jar Jar Binks going, "Moi, I love you." Then you had Boss Nass going, "Misa don't like the Naboo." You know, it's not gonna. It doesn't make any sense. You can make anything look real, you know. So no, that theory. The second one was the biggest load of crap ever, George. Everyone says the lizard stuff. It's like Alex Jones going, "They're turning the freaking frogs gay." You know, it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. That would never happen. The frogs are just born the way they are, and that's it. Just accept people for who they are. Don't be like, who cares if the frogs get turned whatever
way. Gay rights to frogs.
No, as long as the frogs aren't nonsense, I could care less what they do in their spare time. And
so, obviously, as long as the frogs are on Stephen Fry's basically.
What? Frogs are Stephen Fry's? What are you on about?
Well, Stephen Fry is called a ginger nonce, so.
Stephen Tries isn't a nonce. Obviously, I'm very biased towards him nowadays, but yeah.
No, people call him a ginger nonce.
I'm done. Anyway, both those theories are a load of rubbish. Never happened in a million years. Aaron, do you want to go on your final one?
Yeah, this one isn't as mental as George. I mean, I don't think anything's as mental as them, but do you remember...
The first one was kind of interesting, but the second one, the other two, I know you went... And the lizard one's stupid, and that bloody Kanye West, Taylor Swift, bloody whatever it was mental, honestly.
So
go on then, Aaron. Sorry for cutting you off.
Do you remember at the start of 2020, there was that 10-year challenge going on?
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, this isn't as mental as what I'm trying to make it out to be, but obviously, you know, like Facebook uses AI, you know, to like... They like map your face and do all that.
Yeah.
Apparently, some people believe, and I'm not too sure what to think about it. Apparently, the 10-year challenge is basically to help build up AI databases, so they can work out, right, this is what they look like when they were. For us, it would be when we were 10. This is what they look like now. This is what they look like in 50 years. It's just like to build up an AI database of your face.
That's kind of like the theory about Snapchat with like the filters, like the old age.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
People pretending to be other people.
So I can see what you're doing.
George said
yeah.
about that ages ago. The people pretending to be other people, I don't believe, because you can't be that daft to believe that someone else is someone else. But the stuff about aging, what did you
God, what's
say
that
about?
behind me?
I was saying that they're basically trying to build a profile of your face. What the? Oh no,
They're coming
they've
for
come to
George.
take JFK. JFK.
No!
Wait, I was going to say if George's
George,
door was opened
George,
again.
no, George, for a no context thing, can you like make the space thing like fly into you, like go and then die? Please, George, for a laugh. Please, George, come on. No, maybe make it fight the TARDIS. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
This is so random.
The aliens have taken over the podcast.
JFK's piloting the UFO.
Come on, the Doctor's got to destroy the not the TARDIS, the UFO.
But yeah, do you want me to get back to mine or?
Yeah. Just let George keep messing about and talk about it.
Wait, George, you said his name.
George, just keep.
James, you said his name on the.
Whose name?
Someone we shouldn't mention who begins with a C.
Oh, don't just ignore it. Listen,
right.
Did you mention his full name?
No, he just said.
I don't think I said his name.
Oh, I might have just
doesn't
misheard.
matter, all right, then.
But anyways, this 10-year challenge.
It's not
thing,
good to mention anyone. But yeah.
This 10-year challenge thing is basically just a way, apparently, for companies like Facebook, Google, whatever, to build up like a map of your face, so they can think this is what they look like when they were 10. This is what they look like now. This is what they look like when they're 30, 40, 50. And then there's some weird conspiracy going on there. I'm not too sure. I do believe it in some aspects, but I think I'm not sure what to think because we only see one side of the evidence, don't we? Which is like pro.
You know what? I'm gonna go for true. To be honest, I think that may well be true with the AIs and all that, trying to learn stuff and adapt to what humans are. So yes, I'm going to go for true.
What do you think, George?
I think I'm going to go for two as well because if you look at the Snapchat filters of what you would look like when you're older, that could definitely be the government basically seeing what you would look like when you're older, so they know what you will look like for the rest of your
I mean, there's
life.
those Callum's Corner streams where he dresses up as a woman, and I've seen those pictures that you've saved. Well, no, not dresses up like a woman. Puts a filter on to look like a woman.
Well, he pretended to be an e-girl for 24 hours.
Oh, and that was the stream. I was on about the stream ones where he put a
weird.
filter on.
Oh, yeah. Bloody hell, you wouldn't know it's me, would you? Well, we do, Callum, let's be real. Yeah, so I'll do a few random combos, and then maybe we could talk about Callum's Corner and an Aggro Aaron. Actually, me and George should tell do a legit or a bit as well for a laugh, tic-tac. And then Aaron figures out who's telling the truth or lying. Anyway, first things first, random combos. I was going to say, right, just about like selling cars and... No, there was one point about cars that I was going to make that I literally just forgot. I'm going to try and get up. The first point is about like selling cars.
I've got a bit of news as well, by the way, guys.
Oh, okay. I was going to say about like
about
the...
that first, or...
No. I'll just say about this random...
So now
random
I'm still here.
car
I'm just getting something. So.
This random car convo quickly I was going to say. I'm going to see if I wrote it down somewhere. No. Forget it. So the first point, George, what are you doing? Oh, tic-tac. The first point I was going to make...
I need to stand. I need to stand up and I can't have people see what.
Oh yeah, because George has no trousers on, so.
Yeah. Well, just put the camera off,
boxes,
you fool.
actually.
Just put... Oh no.
He's
put the camera... Turn the camera off, George, you fool.
I've returned. All right. Sorry about that.
I was going to say, though, like, I was asking this salesman once, how would you go about selling a Nissan Cube or a high mileage Mini to someone? And he just said stuff like, it's usually eccentric people that buy something like the Nissan Cube or another bizarre car that I just can't think of. They have to be very eccentric, geeky. They just want something that stands out, you know. Or maybe it's someone who needs a load of stuff in the back and they can't get their hands on a different big car. I mean, the Citroen Berlingo is quite weird. The new ones are all right, but I'd rather have that than a bloody a Nissan Cube. And I asked how do you sell high mileage cars, and he was like, "Well, it's just about if people are desperate for it." But in my opinion,
I've got the Cubes an ugly little thing.
Yeah, but I feel like you should definitely look after the cars that you've got. Obviously, with a high mileage Mini, you'd have to service it you'd have to keep spending loads and loads of money. I mean, there's people who spend thousands and thousands on Minis, and they're spending more than what it's worth. If it's an antique and it's a nice car, like what you do, George, you spent a considerable amount on the MG, but it's nice looking. As much as the MGs aren't built very well, if you do them up, and replace things, you can make them better, and they look really good.
The only thing the MGs really have wrong with them is the head gasket, and there's a kit to fix that now. So
yeah, so fair play. So yeah, but obviously try and get them serviced at a main dealer, because I said about this on a video me and George recorded ages ago. I haven't started editing it yet, but trust me, it's fine that I haven't, because the video won't age too much. It's not something that needs to be uploaded soon as, and there was other videos that we wanted to get uploaded on George's channel. But my point is, I was talking about this VW Jetta that had like 150,000 miles, but it drove like new, and because it was always serviced at VW. So always try and look after your cars. If you have the money and you love a certain car, it helps if you can do it up yourself, but obviously, just...
I know the video you're talking about, yes.
Yeah, but obviously...
interesting video as well.
Yeah, but obviously it can help if you can do it up yourself. But if you love an old car so much, like a high mileage Mini, or... As I say, the Peugeot, I felt like they stopped trying after the 406 ages ago. But if you've got a Peugeot, but you just like the look of it, just keep getting it done up, keep trying to get it serviced at a main dealer. But obviously, my personal advice would be try and get something.
I was going to say, when it comes to classic Minis and things like that, they do go up in value quite a lot. So the work you do it does affect the value by a lot. By a lot.
Yeah, but that's just my random convo for today. Can we do legit or a bit quickly before you go on to the news and before I go on to Aggro Aaron?
Yes, we can.
So, Aaron, you'll have to guess mine and George's story if we're telling the truth or not.
All right. This is my first one, isn't it? Or is it my second? No, it's my second.
Well, no. I think last time all I did was an Aggro Aaron with you. You didn't want to do legit or a bit, I don't think.
Yeah.
So this is your first legit or a bit. So, my story is... basically, I was at CEX and I pretended that I had really bad diarrhea to get to the front of the queue, because it was taking... No, not the front, sorry. It was taking like ages and ages and ages for this person. I was going, oh! And they like, I was like, I'm just so bursting for the toilet. And they eventually hurried up and they left. So basically what happened was...
I would think you'd actually do that.
May well be true. It could be a load of rubbish. Anyway, so what happened was I was buying a few cheeky DVDs, the old Top Gear, Carlito's Way, and Once Upon a Time in America. They have a lot of copies of Scarface, but already have that. And I was like, oh God, I've been bursting for a poo recently. Oh, not recently, sorry. I've had bad diarrhea recently. I've been like, oh God, I need the toilet so badly, because they were taking forever and ever and ever and ever. And they hurried up, and then I got to get served, and then I was like, I'm bursting. Yeah, come on. And then they got me the stuff, and then I left. Have you got any questions, Aaron?
All right. Obviously, I'm not going to say anything that will dox us, but was this in a little or big CX?
It was in the very big shopping centre, not like the shopping centre that's closer to me and George, like the really big, massive shopping centre. Yeah. It was the one in there, so it was a considerably bigger one. Yes.
The one with the 3 stories in the big town, or the one where the bus station is?
I don't. The one actually in the shopping centre. I don't know about a 3-story one.
All right.
The one that I'm thinking of the place that starts with a B.
Yeah.
BH.
Yeah. Yeah, George. George.
I know the one I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'll put it in the group chat.
I'm just trying to think of other questions. So what did you say you're buying specifically? Was it Once Upon a Time in America? And
Once Upon a Time in America, and
Right, yeah.
Carlito's way in a Top Gear series. I think it was series 1, I'm pretty sure.
all right. Okay, so do I now hear George's and make up my mind?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can, obviously, both of us could be telling the truth, both of us could be lying.
Okay.
But you have to guess.
Okay. So do you want to say yours, George?
Yes, I will. This is quite similar to James. This is in some aspects because it does take place in a CX as well.
Okay.
And once I went into the one near me, and I went to pick up a DVD, but it was covered in this like slimy stuff. I don't know what it was. It could have been cum, it could have been shit. But
I mean, you could have smelled
it
to
just
try and
covered
tell the
this.
difference, but yeah.
I didn't smell it. I just handed it to the guy who was doing it, and he put his hand right into it, like right into the stuff. It was only 50p, so I brought it.
What film was it?
It was an old Thunderbirds DVD.
So it was covered in shit or spunk, and you... I wouldn't even... Wasn't there any copies? And it's a load of crap anyway. Honestly, never mind.
Crap, I brought it for 50p and just threw it away the second I got out.
Threw it away! So you just said
I didn't want to put it back. I didn't want to put it back.
Okay.
I didn't want to be blamed for what was on there.
Okay, so
Aaron, have you got any questions for
right,
George?
so when you got this DVD, did you open it up and did you look at the disc like after you've bought it?
No, I opened it up before. Well,
Was that
I was looking at how I saw like all the stuff. So, like it was coming out of the bottom, but when you opened it, there's like a big gloop on the inside.
So when you took it to the cashier or whatever, he then got the DVD out and put the DVD straight into it? Or was the DVD already inside?
Yes, straight.
Oh, right.
And the DVD wasn't inside. It was just like a couple like bits to go with the DVD, like the papers and things like that.
Oh, right. Just trying to think.
And so when he put the DVD in, they put his hand straight into like whatever the group was.
So when he put his hand in, did he say anything, or did he wipe it off, or did he just continue on as it happened?
No. He just made like a weird face.
I don't get what...
And gave it back to me.
I have no idea why he made a weird face, because surely he'd know that it's covered in shit.
Well, I'll think him oh, what the fuck's this, or something like that.
Well, he's the one bloody selling it. What the... never mind.
I don't know.
All right, then. Have you got any more questions for either of us?
No, I can't think of any.
Sorry, I was just looking at the...
No, I can't think of any.
Before Aaron guesses, I just want to say this video is not it's sponsored by olive butter.
Oh yeah, I noticed that towards the start.
I do, George. Your background is so amazing, man. I can't say enough how amazing it is. TARDIS.
I'm gonna flex a bit.
That's so much better. That is so much better. Keep the TARDIS
a bit.
Bro.
Just saying, they keep freezing.
And switch to underneath.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Who are you guessing then? George's background's just chef's kiss perfection.
Okay, so knowing you two in person.
People like this now.
So knowing you two in person and some of the antics, I'm gonna say James's is false, but George's is true. That's what I'm going for. I could be wrong there.
George.
Mine was false.
Oh no.
And mine was false. You got mine right, well done. But you got George's wrong.
I mean, I do think George would be the
Aaron, honestly,
type of person who would genuinely just.
how did you
So-
suss me out?
Well, because you're not the type of person who likes bringing attention to yourself in public. You like to sort of keep yourself to yourself, sort of, and you wouldn't be moaning
Yeah.
and groaning, especially in that big CX. So.
If I had said,
Yeah.
if it was in the smaller CX, or if I had said I'd been to the Witherspoons pub that was close to that shop, would have you believed me after I'd had a few drinks doing something like that?
No, because even after a few drinks, you're pretty normal when you're with like me and everyone. So
Yeah.
the only way that I could.
What about
have
if it was after a few drinks? What about if it was after?
Oh wait, I think there's a really weird delay going on
Go
here.
on.
But the only way that I could sort of believe it is if you'd said like you'd been ill or something, and then potentially that might have happened. But yeah.
Oh, you outsussed me. I can't believe you fell for George's. I would have gone for George's lie, and I would have. The way you played would have lied to you because you tell them stuff that they think, is he telling the truth? This sounds sort of true, but he could be lying. So I'm going to go for something else, if that makes sense.
Yeah, just saying both your pictures are frozen.
Do you know what I
on my end.
mean?
So
Oh, am I moving now?
no, I think it's my Wi-Fi, but
Oh, bugger. You're still moving on mine, so it's all right.
okay.
Anyway, it doesn't matter if it's paused. Well done, Aaron. You got 1 out of 2 right. We'll have on the bloody 100th special. We'll have to. I'm not trying to spoil anything, but we'll have a decent amount of people here. We'll have to do the other people tell stories, and then you guess. That'd be quite fun.
All right, I'm not really the best at guessing situations, but yeah.
Or we could
Which,
as Liam.
do that podcast. We have to do it for 3 hours or something like that. Like a 3 hour long special.
We could do one. No, we should do it to Liam, actually. The other people, would you be all right telling a story? And then because Liam got both of them right when we did me and Ben. So,
Yeah, I mean,
anyway,
yeah.
have you got the news you want to talk? Oh, Aggro. I was going to do Aggro Aaron next before George's news.
Well, mine will only be quick.
Oh, go on then. George's news.
Just saying you lot are both still
It's been
frozen on my
cancelled.
end.
It doesn't matter as long as you can hear the audio all right. You're moving
Yeah.
on my end.
All right, okay.
Yeah, and you're moving on my end as well. Yeah. So Ellen is being cancelled at the moment.
Yeah, because she was pretty mean to the staff.
Wasn't there that thing that she had to go at someone for their nail varnish or something?
And apparently James.
That is bizarre. That is beyond worrying.
Yeah. And apparently James Corden is going to be taking her place on the show.
Doesn't he already have like about 50 million shows and they're all a bit weird? Like
Yeah,
League of Their Own, Carpool.
He's just as bad.
What, does he have a go at people? I know he's a bit of a tit, as I've said before. It's ridiculous that he complained about living in a mansion.
And just as she's annoyed people looking at her, he's exact same.
So is he very mardy and bitchy behind the camera then?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
So facing one toxic person with another toxic person,
I
basically.
mean, I think they all are.
He's an all right show host, you know. Yeah, listen, he's an all right show host. I like him a lot better than Fallon and what's his name, Bill Mather. I like him a lot better than them two. Ellen is probably in between them and Corton, but Corden still is a bit of a tit, to be honest. You know, not a big fan.
Yeah.
I mean, you are biased because he's in Gavin and Stacey, aren't you, James?
No, I love Gavin and Stacey. I love his writing. I love his acting in it. I thought he was amazing in it. So I do love him acting.
I think Gavin and Stacey.
It's one of my favourite shows ever. I love it to bits. But yeah, he's amazing in that. But in real life, he's just, and he hasn't really been in anything else that good. I mean, he was in The Gruffalo, and that was, it's a good kids film, but you know, I could have done that. I could have gone, "Hello, Gruffalo. Oh no, my big friend the Gruffalo beat you up." You know what I mean? I could have done that. It's easy.
He was in Cats as well, wasn't he?
He what?
He was in Cats.
I didn't bother watching that. I know he voices some rabbits.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Anyway, what were we going to move on to? Oh yeah, Aggro Aaron. I hate it when celebrities are starring one big film, and musicians as well, music artists. They're in one big film, they have one big song, one big telly show, and that like they're as good as John Wayne, Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Mel Gibson, Jack Nicholson, Dustin Hoffman. They all that like they're at that level, you know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just a weird form of entitlement that big money gets you, I guess.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood, Christian Bale, that like I don't mean all the people I listed out. Other actors who are only in one or two big things act like they're as good as Christian Bale and all them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to be constantly in good stuff. You know, you can't just be in one good thing and act like you're the bee's knees. You can act like you're good, but you can't be like acting like you're the best ever. It's like Edward Norton. He only had 2 amazing films, Fight Club and I haven't seen it. I know it's a bit controversial and crazy, but American History X. And he's in them, but apparently in most films he just takes over and he's like, no, we're doing it my way, my way, my way, and it's ridiculous.
I have heard about his creative control.
You know.
He goes mental, doesn't he, about it?
Marlon Brando was exactly the same, but all of his biggest stuff, Apocalypse Now, Superman, and The Godfather, he acts like they're he doesn't care about them, but like he only cares about stuff he did in the 50s and 60s. I'm pretty sure, very slow-paced films, which I haven't bothered watching yet. But like he takes creative control over these films, and I haven't seen Superman or any of his films in the 50s and 60s, but Godfather and Apocalypse Now are 2 of the best films ever. And apparently it's like 50-50. It's between Francis Ford Coppola did a bit, and so did Marlon Brando. But like you can't be the actor and expecting to take over the whole bloody film. You're there for them to guide you. It's the director's vision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my ground for today. Have you guys got an Aggro Aaron or?
I don't today, no. I can't think of one.
Aaron?
No,
Aaron, you got an Aggro Aaron?
I didn't know we were doing one today, so I didn't come prepared for one.
Fair enough. I guess we can wrap up
I've got a
nicely
little
there.
bit more news.
Oh, okay. Never mind then, go on.
And it's about Halo Infinite.
Oh.
We turn
It
into
has been
a Halo
delayed
channel.
until 2021.
That, yeah.
But it's going to be the best thing for Halo, lads. Best thing ever.
It's been
Best
delayed.
thing.
Personally,
Been delayed. Oh well, that's it.
I mean, I could care less. You know, the Halo gameplay, it's very divided. Everyone's very divided on it. Personally, I thought it's all right. They're going back for more of a classic feel. Do I think it'll be any good? If I was at gunpoint or if I had to bet a load of money, I'd say no. It's not going to be good personally. But it looks
Well,
good.
I
hope it's good.
saw somebody basically recreate it on a Nintendo 64.
That's crazy.
I was looking at an 8-bit game. Charles, it didn't look that different to what the gameplay looked like from the showcase in the week.
I mean, it does look like a launch title for the Xbox 360, doesn't it?
But I think it's better that they're going back for the classic feel, personally. Thing is, Aaron, you're not going to get a new console, are you? I'm going to wait either till next Christmas. Earliest, if people say it's the best thing ever, I'll get it next Christmas. If people say it's shit, I'm probably going to wait 2 or 3 years or not get it. Or if they say it's not the worst thing ever and there's no good exclusives. Because the thing is,
I'm happy with my Switch.
Yeah. Well, you like collecting consoles, don't you, to be fair? But,
I do, yeah. Well, I want to get a game. Do you? Or a PS1.
Okay, fair play.
I want one of them. Or actually, I was looking at the Game Boy colours.
Right, I've randomly got a GameCube here.
30 quid.
Nice. Aaron, could you bring it to George? Aaron, George, if you got a capture card, you could bring it to George's and we could film some gameplay on there.
GameCube capture is really hard to do.
Oh, okay. We could just play it anyway for fun and not record it.
I've only got one controller.
Yeah, next time you both come time, bring it. That would be good.
Yeah. And we could, instead of actually filming us play, we could maybe get a few clips of just film it on the phone or whatever,
Yeah.
and then talk about it on a podcast.
Yeah, but I say, but the Game Boy colours are like 30 quid, and I'm gonna get that with Pokemon Yellow or something like that.
Wait, I have a Game Boy
Just
Color
to get
there.
like a bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's so
Oh, cool.
Would you
Can I just say? Ooh, Aaron, is it sentimental, or will you send it to Mr. GC, George?
Well, I only got it like a year ago, and I don't really play it, so probably.
Oh, nice. How much would you sell it for, do you reckon?
Oh, this is an advance. Oh, wait, where's the colour? I've got a colour somewhere. I've got the advance here.
How much would you sell it for, do you reckon?
I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
It's sort of vintage, but nice. But anyway, I was going to say quickly.
I did want to colour.
I was going to say quickly, the Xbox One, I had a big one, and it ended up not working properly within years and years. The discs just wouldn't work, and then I had to buy a new, smaller one. And I just hope, the way I see it, right, if people say that it's absolute crap, I'll probably wait till they move Netflix and Fight Pass and everything over onto it to get it. If they say it's good, I'll probably get it at Christmas. The problem is we're getting consoles straight away. They're more likely to break.
I mean, the thing is as well, they're saying with the new
Yeah.
Xbox that you can that you don't have to buy it. Everything that's on the Xbox on the new Xbox is going to be on the old one. They say it's just like an upgrade.
Nice.
If I was going to get the new Xbox, I'd wait until Infinite come out.
Well, if I'm being brutally honest, the Xbox are being. I think they'll do. I don't think they'll absolutely destroy PlayStation in like success wise, buying wise, but I do think that they will beat them by quite a bit. Not loads and loads, but a bit. It won't be as good. It won't be as high selling as. It won't be as successful financially as the PS1, 2, or Nintendo Wii because they had different groundbreaking features. Like PlayStation 2 had
well, the Switch has taken the Wii now.
It hasn't taken over the Wii, George. The Wii's got like hundreds of millions. The Wii's got like, isn't it like 140 million?
No.
You must be thinking of the Wii U. I'll just look it up quickly. My point is definitely the Wii U because that was unsuccessful. I'll just say, as you said, Aaron, PlayStation 2 DVD player. Not everyone could afford one. Wii, old people could play it, so that was cool. And the sports, it was very family friendly and interactive. So.
Plus, it was motion
control.
control.
I did see an old woman fall into a TV once.
Motion controller, yeah. No, highest grossing. What did you say, George?
Switch is more than the Wii, I was saying.
You think it's better? I don't think it's more groundbreaking.
I mean,
but it's not really fair because by that logic,
it's much better than the Wii.
I mean, when you think about it, the Switch has been Nintendo have been trying to do it for years, haven't they? They started with the Game Boy, and then they advanced to the Wii, and then the Wii U is.
Oh, hold on, Nintendo. Sorry, I got this wrong, lads. Nintendo DS was nearly as successful as the PS2, and that's understandable because that was the first proper good portable, really good high-level portable console, like little console. PlayStation 110 million, PlayStation 4. The original PlayStation 102 million. The Wii was 101 million. Let's look where the Switch is. Bro, the Switch has got 61 million. The Switch has got 61 million.
Well, that's quite good though, isn't it?
I wouldn't say. The problem is the Switch is good because it is the first console where you can put it on your telly and put it on your Play It Portable, and it has little controllers. But I'd say the Wii's way more groundbreaking personally. Just my personal opinion.
So you can effectively do that with the Wii U though, can't you?
Yeah, but the Wii U's are not groundbreaking at all. So
yeah, that's true.
You can't carry the Wii U around and play it, you know.
You can carry the little pad around.
Anyway,
but yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask you, what do you guys think of this new Lego NES?
What the hell's that? Let me.
It's just a weird It's just a weird marketing gimmick. A tie-in. That's just.
Really?
I mean,
do the Nintendo entertainment system.
I think I know what you're on about. I just want to confirm. Oh yeah, this thing isn't it like a leg? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a weird marketing
I
time.
really want it, but it's 230 quid.
You might as well get an actual.
So you build a
NES.
telly out of Lego. So you just build a
The
telly out of
TV
Lego.
moves as well.
Look,
Yeah, when you build the telly, the screen moves with Mario on it, and then you build the controller and then the NES itself. Well, the book's about that thick.
Well, I will say, if you've got the space and you're a massive Lego enthusiast, worth it. If you, I mean, as I say, the only reason I collect Lego, there's a few little things I want. There's a lot that I want to sell, and there's a lot that I want to use for my stop motions. But like, I don't see the point in it. It's just a weird marketing tool. Oh, blue. It's just a weird marketing tool. George accidentally went like this, and you could see his boxes.
Oh, I wasn't looking for that.
That was quite.
He's frozen.
That was quite funny. But yeah,
well, I'm just checking how much an actual NES is.
Like
anyway, I think I agree with Aaron. I think it's a weird marketing tool. But if people want to get it, they can get it. I mean, the new Lego Mario's appalling. I'd rather have a proper little minifigure than some massive fat blobbing thing bouncing around.
I was going to say, before we end the stream...
just on one here. An original Nintendo entertainment system, NES bundle, 25 quid.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, before we end this, George, you've got to check that your door's still closed. And don't open it secretly.
George is going to open it.
He's going to open it. He's going to open it. Go on, George.
George, show us now. Don't open it. George, show us now. Show us now. It's shut, exactly. It's shut.
But that one, but I'll close that one as well.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. It was open, George. It was open.
That one was open, but yeah, that one hasn't moved now.
Well, I absolutely love doing this, making the podcast look more professional.
Oh, I'm standing in a window in my boxes. I should not do that.
Nosy neighbours. Anyway, no, George's neighbours aren't nosy.
Pervy neighbours.
That well. I don't know George's neighbours that well, so.
Pervy neighbours more.
Pervy neighbours. What did you say?
Pervy neighbours.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a good one. Oh,
all right.
Have a good one. I just accidentally yanked the cable then. Have a good one. See ya.
Yeah, thanks, you guys.